What's going on, guys? Welcome back to your pre-market watches here today. We're going to get started going over, a couple of the stocks that have been moving today and maybe what you should be watching. So today, so far, we're already up, almost $800 green on the day, which is nice. We have been on shorting this Ppsi stock pre-market as it ran into the $5.10 range. Right now, it's holding up okay. This is probably going to be our number one candidate going forward today. So we're going to be watching this a little short bias going into the open to see if we get any sort of retracemental move. Now, granted, the stock isn't super duper overextended as a whole. There's still a lot of room. It could essentially go up on the long-term charts. So in the event Ppsi is really trying to do like a big long move, we should see the price of this stock, maybe even up towards 590. All right. And the reason I say that is because right now we're at one deviation resistance. Okay. That's a good resistance point. But better resistance points are, 2 deviation or 3 deviation. So I'm currently short with a position of 500 shares. All right. So far, it still looks like we're able to buy shares of short on this, which means, there's more people getting involved short bias, which then means there's more people to squeeze up short on the move, which can create a nice long move. So besides all the confusing stuff I just told you, one of our main watches here today is going to be Ppsi, and we're still going to be watching this stock short bias, okay? Right now, we might have, let me see, this is at 419, and that is there. Yeah, we might have targets on this short back down to prices of about 420 to 419 currently. That would be the long-term daily chart resistance. Now, if this doesn't keep fading down this way pre-market and it ends up squeezing all the way back up to 5, there will most likely be a double top around the 510 area where we could short that top and play it down. And then even if the stock runs all the way to 6, we'll still be short biased the stock, okay? But overall, Ppsi is one of the main candidates we're going to be watching today. It's had good volatility up, and there's still a lot of opportunity for a short move. There's still opportunity for a long move. So there's a lot of capabilities that are still possible with Ppsi currently today. Next stock that I'm going to put on your guys' radar here to watch is going to be mRNA. Now, I don't know how many of you guys like shorting or if you do it or I don't, but we're watching mRNA short bias. So we already caught about a 40-point swing short the other day. We shorted the top around here around 173, and then we got it all the way down. So it was about a $30 short or something. So we got it from like 173s all the way to 128s or 130s. Yeah, it's a 40-point short. Yeah, so we got from like 173, shorted all the way down to like 130s or whatnot and covered. Since we have bounced back up to resistance, which is that blue line, we've entered short again pre-market. The position's only 25 shares, so it's nothing too dramatic. But if this does get a big flush, then of course that's going to net a pretty good amount. So we're currently short bias mRNA. We're going to be watching for this to decrease over the next, next couple days, maybe even the next week or so. So that's one of the plays that we've been following pretty closely, which is again, bearish mRNA for right now. After we've gone through our big drop, then we've done our bounce, and now we're short here, looking for this move to finally kind of roll back down. And I guess we might be looking for targets of 136 to 140 on this move for right now. So a couple things that you might want to pay attention to are like CLDR. There's a couple earnings reports that came out today. CLDR is always usually like a little volatile earnings report. I've been trading this earnings report for, the last 5 years. And every time they have an earnings report, it always seems to have this, really nice volatile jump or really nice volatile short. And it's fairly cheap. So if you want to take big size on it, you're allowed to because it's not too expensive. So CLDR is another kind of interesting one that I usually keep my eye on for the earnings announcements. And that's just a notable mention, okay? Just a notable mention. Now I want to talk about Hgsh. This is the penny stock that's already ran this morning today. There's a lot of traders that were essentially going for the bull flag breakout here. They just got smoked. They got knocked out, right? They had this long move up, nice dip bounce, and then it went into consolidation, and people are looking for the long to break out. Well, it turned into a short and it flopped out. So for right now, we don't really like Hgsh long bias currently because the formation's all kind of whack. It really is not your typical go-to formation. We're not saying it can't turn into a long move, but we first think we're going to see a down move, maybe more towards 370 for the time being, before we would get a bounce play. But overall, you should anticipate that the market on Hgsh is going to return back to $2.86 to $2. Maybe not today, but overall it will. All right. If we look at the daily chart, our support is 224, and if we look at the 4-hour chart, our support is 285. So overall, we're basically anticipating the targets are back down to 280, 285, 295, and 227. Intraday wise, we're thinking you go down to 369 before you get a little bounce attempt. And even if you don't, you could bounce here, but we just know that initially for the time being, the 370 would be a little bit more of the lower risk bounce zone that we would first look for before putting any risk on. So as a whole, we're not a big fan of Hgsh. We don't think it's going to trade very well. We've been wrong before many times, so if you have faith in it, keep watching it. There should be at least some play, a little bounce here or there. We just don't see it being a super monster rip for right now. Ppsi is starting to fade back down as we caught that 5. You guys even saw that. We entered 500 shares short here in the top, and we've rolled right back down. So we're right on support, which is that yellow deviation line and previous price action bottom. So this short will not pay out any more money until we can successfully get below or into this kind of 420, 419 zone. So something tells me that this isn't going to have a really big range for right now, and it's going to kind of hold up, maybe until the bell, and then you're going to get one of those quick whips down on Ppsi this morning. We'll take a look at the S&P right now. We'll take a look at the Qs. And so we'll make this quick just because it's the same exact thing as it was pretty much yesterday. Nothing's really changed. So if we look at the 4-hour chart, we're still going to be trending up. We're still trying to push a new high. And we have yet to get through that trending resistance, right? You can see that line. We have yet to get through that. We tried to get through yesterday. We got knocked back down. So until we successfully, and when I say that, it's not about getting through. It's about getting through and holding over, okay? It's about getting above that line and having candles close above. That's what's going to cause us to start squeezing out and hopefully going more towards $400 on the S&P 500. And it's the same thing with the NASDAQ, so we're not even going to cover the NASDAQ. But again, it's really the same exact thing. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's really kind of my overview here for Friday. We're going to try to keep things pretty simple. Already up, $830 on the day, so really no need to push anything too crazy. With that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Everybody, take care.